Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. So, today we're going to continue along with the Venus sign series using Vedic astrology. So, this is what it looks like to have Venus in Leo in your natal chart. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the personality of Venus in Leo, and we will talk about the differences between this position in a male's chart and a female's chart, because Venus traditionally is the signifactor of the wife. So this is going to be specific to how this shows up in your chart if you are a male or a female. And then we will also briefly go into the different Nakshatras. So there are three Nakshatras that this Venus in Leo can fall in, and this will give us a different expression of this energy. So first of all, what does this personality of Venus in Leo look like? Venus in Leo is a very extravagant type of placement. Venus on its own is the planet of love, relationships, beauty, luxury, pleasure. Venus wants to give us the most happiness and comfort in life. So Venus is going to be what we feel most attracted to, what we love, what we enjoy. And Leo is the sign that is ruled by the sun being the signifactor of the soul, the ego, the purpose. It is that light, the center point of our life. So Leo is very much about authority, leadership. It is acting, cinema, entertainment, creativity. It is the center. It wants to be seen. It wants to be acknowledged, admired. So Leo holds this level of authority and recognition to it. And when we put the planet of Venus in the sign of Leo, we get this very extravagant type of energy because now we're taking a very luxurious planet and putting it in a very luxurious sign. So this tends to give someone who loves to dress up, someone who loves to dress nicely, who knows how to dress and will dress very nicely for certain occasions, someone who knows how to put on a good speech, someone who knows how to draw a lot of attention and make an impact. So this energy can make a really good politician. This can make a good actor, someone who is able to pull in a lot of attention. And with Venus here in Leo, where this is about the pleasure, the comfort, what we want to attract, Venus in Leo is going to make a person who loves to be at the center of everything, someone who loves to be acknowledged and admired for the work that they do. So this is not necessarily going to be a bad placement. With this position, someone with Venus in Leo could have a love of helping others, but they want to be acknowledged for the work that they do. So this is giving this love of being recognized, of being seen. The intention of what they're doing can be good, but there's still that desire to be recognized. And so this is a very social placement. This is going to be a person who wants to be out in the world, who wants to be seen, who wants to be known for their skills. This can also give a very competitive person, someone who wants to be on the top, someone who wants to level up in their career, who wants that position of the boss, of the authority, of the leader. So this is going to give someone who doesn't like to be inferior to anyone, likes to hold a certain level of status and dignity. This also gives strong creative abilities because the sign of Leo is connected to creativity, cinematography, anything along the lines of fashion, of design, right? It is the sun, which is the center of everything. So this is connected to light, to color. So this is about this creative expression of being seen. So this does give a person who has really great creative abilities, whether this means coming up with creative ideas, if this person is a politician or if they're in the media, they can have a lot of creative ideas that they want to share with the world, or they could actually have some sort of creative ability like acting, singing, performing, dancing, this type of thing. Or they could simply want to show off their creativity, like fashion, modeling. So this can be a strong factor here. But there's a strong desire for glamour, for beauty, to be seen, to be noticed. This type of person might want to have a luxurious home, to have the nicest things in life. So there is this very beautiful and fashionable type of energy with this, with a touch of dominance and authority in it as well. So let's go ahead and talk about what this looks like in a female's chart compared to a male's chart and how this can play out. Now, Venus represents the spouse. So this is going to represent your spouse, whether you are a man or a woman. But even more so, it is going to represent the female. So when we look at this in a male's chart, this is specifically going to show the personality of the wife. But this can also signify a husband as well. It's just that this is more of the personality of the wife. So Venus being the significator of a spouse or a husband, a wife, relationships, love, pleasure. So this is going to be heavily focused in on relationships. If you are a female, you may also want to look at your Jupiter sign because that's going to give you specifically your husband's personality. But this is specific to just relationships and spouses. So Venus and Leo, what does this look like in a female's chart? Well, this is going to represent the female. Again, this planet of Venus is traditionally about the wife. It is a feminine energy. So when Venus comes into Leo, this tends to give a female who likes to have a lot of attention, who likes to have nice things, who likes to dress very nicely. Again, that glamour, that extravagance, someone who loves comfort, who loves to live in luxury, who loves to be seen and noticed, who loves to make an impact on the world. And so this can give a woman who works in a CEO, a woman who is a politician, a woman who is out doing fashion modeling, who is in front of cameras doing artwork, someone who is out making an impact. And again, this can even mean someone who wants to share their creative ideas to help others, to bring people together, to make that impact on the world, but also to be recognized and to hold that position of authority or dominance. So this is going to give a very dominant type of woman who has this position. And typically with this placement, this type of person is going to look for someone who also has a certain level of confidence, of status, of authority, someone who is in a high position. And we'll talk more about that when we get into the Nakshatras because this can greatly vary. But with this position, and you want to look at where the sun is, you want to look at if there are any planets that are present with Venus, if there's any planets that are aspecting Venus, what house Venus is in. So all of these factors come into play. And we're going to talk briefly about those Nakshatras once again at the end. But you want to dive even deeper into the Nakshatras by looking at the individual padas within the Nakshatra. So there's going to be 4 padas within each of the Nakshatras. The last one that we'll talk about, you're not going to look at all 4 of them because that last Nakshatra will start in Leo and then end in Virgo. But you want to look at all the factors, and you also want to look at Venus in your Navamsa chart, which is something that we'll talk about later on this channel as we're getting into the relationship content. But with this position, this gives a person who typically wants a relationship with someone who has a high status or who lives a glamorous life, who holds a dominant position. Now, this can become a challenge, though, because then when this person attracts this type of partner, then there's competition. Because, again, this is the type of woman who wants to hold this level of dominance. So this can bring some challenges in relationships where there can be a lot of competition, a lot of dominance issues that can happen, where this person can actually overpower the type of man that they're attracting to them. And this can be very frustrating. So, this is something that can happen in a woman's chart. We're going to see something similar in a male's chart also. So, what happens in a male's chart when they have Venus in Leo? Again, their personality is going to be attracted to these dominant positions. So, whether they are wanting to be a politician, wanting to be in a position as a boss, whether they are wanting to be a star, to be someone who's in the spotlight, performing, being seen, being noticed, this type of personality tends to come through. And again, you want to look at all of the factors before judging this. So you want to look, are there any planets that are with Venus? Are there any planets that are aspecting Venus? What house is Venus in? What nakshatra, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But then even deeper than that, what para is this nakshatra falling into? So all of these things are going to matter. And along with that, where's the sun? Because the sun is the ruler of Leo. So that's also going to tell us a lot about how this energy is going to play out. But with Venus and Leo, because Venus is specific to the personality of the wife or the spouse, especially in a male's chart, they're going to attract someone who has more of these qualities rather than them being of their own qualities. So, especially in a male's chart, you want to look at this according to your spouse. This can be your interests, this can be your hobbies, because this is what we're attracted to. But more so than your own personality, it's going to be what you're attracting in a spouse. So, Venus and Leo can give a man who attracts someone who is a little bit self centered, someone who is focused more on their own life and their own sense of getting recognition, getting admiration, getting that sense of validation for themselves. And so this can be very difficult when you're attracting this type of partner because you're not going to get the same amount of love and admiration in return. So this can set up a relationship where you're actually attracting someone who is very selfish, someone who's very needy, someone who needs all of this validation and attention, where you feel like you're not getting enough love for yourself. And so this is where this placement has a karmic lesson around really appreciating yourself, because that's going to help you attract someone who appreciates you. There is this misconception with this placement that if you attract someone who's high ranking, if you attract someone who's very beautiful, very glamorous, that that's going to make you happy. And this is not necessarily true. Remember that Venus is in its enemy sign, and especially when it comes to the sun, because Venus gets burnt out in the sun. So with Venus here in the sign of Leo, there's a lot of karma that is surrounded around this position. Venus is very uncomfortable here, where this can attract a lot of these ego issues, these conflicts that can come up, where this is attracting a very self centered type of partner. So, this really brings up lessons around learning how to love and appreciate yourself and looking for real love and not just this superficial, glamorous type of love that you may be attracting. So, getting into the Nakshatras. If you fall at the beginning of Leo, then we're going to start off here with the Magha Nakshatra. The Magha Nakshatra is symbolized by a throne, and it is ruled by Ketu. So there's a strong connection to the ancestors in this one. Ketu being this planet of past karmas, of mystical knowledge. So this is strongly connected in with the ancestors. And so when you are attracting a partner, especially in a male chart, when you have Venus and Leo and you're attracting this type of partner, this tends to be someone who is going to obtain their ancestral property or have some type of issue surrounding their ancestors' property. This is something that tends to show up big time with this placement. Also, this tends to give someone who wants a lot of luxury, who wants to have nice things in life, and thinks that this is going to fulfill their desires. But they soon realize that it doesn't, because remember that this is a K2 ruled nakshatra. So K2 is not about the material things. Remember that K2 takes us out of the Maya, out of the illusion, out of the material world. So there's no satisfaction, especially if Venus is some way aspecting K2 or with K2 in the chart. This is going to amplify this where there is a lack of fulfillment and satisfaction in the material things. And so this person can chase material things throughout their lives, but until they get on a spiritual path and they follow their karmic duty, they're not going to find any fulfillment in this. And this can play out into relationships also, where there is a lack of fulfillment there in the relationship too, because this physical connection, this physical love is unsatisfying. This person needs to find satisfaction in something that's deeper, that's more spiritual with this K2 energy. This also can tend to give someone who's always ending up in power positions. Again, K2 is this planet that doesn't give you satisfaction. So this person could end up being a boss. They could end up being in a very powerful position in their career, but there's something unsatisfying about that. They're not getting the full satisfaction of all of these luxurious and materialistic things in life. So, this position actually is going to lead your partner towards a spiritual path and calling. So, especially if you see them later on in their life, you will find that they're a very spiritual type of person and they have some sort of deep connection to their ancestors through this position. So, for those who have Venus and Leo in the Purva Falguni Nakshatra, Purva Falguni is symbolized by a hammock. This is ruled by Venus, so this is a very comfortable, luxurious type of nakshatra. This Venus energy is not only here with Venus being in Leo, but now we're in a Venus ruled nakshatra. So this becomes all about comfort, relaxation. This gives a spouse who loves to sleep a lot, who loves to be lazy, who loves to enjoy the comforts of life. So this is going to give a spouse who you'll find loves to lay around, loves to just sleep and do nothing and have a good time. Someone who is drawn to luxury and comfort. Again, we're here in the sign of Leo where this is all about glamour. This is all about luxury, about the things that are comfortable and the things that bring us that sense of recognition and joy where the sun is. So this is going to give someone who is very social, very friendly, loves to make friends right away, very charming. There is a sexual type of energy to this person where they can easily attract others. Again, they're going to have more of that lazy, laid back type of energy. And interestingly enough, they can achieve a lot in this state also. So you may find that they work in bed and they're very good at it. They can achieve a lot by relaxing and working at the same time. For those who have Venus and Leo in the Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, which starts off in the sign of Leo and continues into Virgo, so we'll talk about this again in the Venus and Virgo video as well. But this is symbolized by a bed, and this is controlled by the sun. So this is a nakshatra that is all about binding, that is all about the connection, the purpose of bringing two souls together. So this is going to give a partner who loves being in a relationship. This person, as soon as they meet you and they are getting closer to you in the relationship, they're going to want to quickly jump into a proposal. They're going to want to quickly settle down with you in the relationship. So this is someone who's looking for long-term relationships, someone who loves being in relationships, This is a noticeable feature about this nakshatra. This also can give someone who has a receding hairline because of the influence of the sun being a hot and dry planet. This can actually affect the hair, and especially if they have multiple planets in this nakshatra, this can greatly affect them. And also, especially if Venus is somehow involved in their ascendant or their moon sign, this can greatly affect their appearance as well. This person can also have some sleep issues. So they can have some restlessness, they can have a lot of duties and responsibilities that take them away from sleep, where they find it very difficult to relax and get a good night's rest with this position. They are someone who also wants to look good in public, and so they will tend to ask their partner. So, if you have this position, especially if you are a male, then your partner may ask you a lot. Does this outfit look good? Does this outfit make sense for this event? This is something that tends to happen with this nakshatra as well. They're very much someone who likes to critique things. And especially you'll see this in the Venus and Virgo side of this even more so, where this person really likes to critique things. And this person can make a very good critic of movies, of art. When this person says that something isn't good, their instincts are usually correct. So, this was my interpretation of what it looks like to have Venus in Leo through all the nakshatras and talking about it from a male's chart, from a female's chart, and personality wise. If you have any additional questions, if you'd like me to talk about these nakshatras a little bit more in depth, let me know down below in the comments. Anything regarding Vedic astrology at all that you'd like me to bring up, let me know in the comments and I will bring it up in a future video. If you're interested in learning more about Vedic astrology, there is a course available in the Facebook group, Astrology Lessons with Daquan Jones. There's a link down below in the description along with the comments, so you can go ahead and check out that course. And of course, I will keep you all updated as this starts to become available on Udemy as well. I want to thank you all so much for joining. Again, any questions at all that you have about Venus, in Leo, and anything that you yourself have experienced or want to add or comment on about this position, feel free to leave it down below. This can be very educational for other people who are looking for this type of information as well. And I always love to hear from your comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell because we have a lot that is coming along with this Pluto retrograde that will be coming here at the end of April and this eclipse season that's going to start in May with our lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So we have a lot that is coming that we need to talk about here, and you don't want to miss out on where this is all heading. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.